Griner just called Caitlin Clark a trash effing white girl. Caitlin Clark has been picked on and abused ever since she entered the league in 2024, and now Brittney Griner is...
The WNBA is facing a pivotal moment as growing calls demand a formal investigation into Atlanta Dream center Brittney Griner after a controversial incident involving Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark. Video clips circulating online appear to show Griner allegedly directing a racial remark toward Clark after fouling out a game, sparking widespread debate among fans and analysts. As the footage spreads across social media, many critics have begun questioning the league's lack of response. The silence from WNBA headquarters has become increasingly noticeable, especially when compared to the league's quick action in past situations involving Clark and confrontation with opposing fans.
A former ESPN host says that no, she didn't say bleep white girl. She says bleep whack call. To which she then went on to call me a grifter for even pointing this out, but besides the point. You can watch and make up your own mind as to what it appears Brittney Griner is saying. It's not certain what Griner says. There is one way to find out. Ask Brittney Griner. However, no one has done that except for Outkick. It's been over 2 weeks since Griner said this. Instead, the WNBA was investigating a bogus race hoax made up by Angel Reese about Indiana Fever fans. And I say bogus because they found no evidence that supports.
The WNBA is currently under intense scrutiny as pressure grows for the league to review a controversial moment involving Brittney Griner and Caitlin Clark. The incident, which reportedly took place during a matchup between the Atlanta Dream and the Indiana Fever, has sparked widespread debate after clips shared online appear to show Griner making a racially charged remark toward Clark after fouling out a game. As the footage continues to circulate across social media, fans, commentators, and analysts have increasingly questioned why the Women's National Basketball Association has not publicly addressed the situation. Critics argue that the league's silence stands in sharp contrast to its typically rapid responses in previous controversies involving Clark and interactions with opposing fans, intensifying calls for transparency and accountability.
Out, she decided to take her anger and frustration out on Caitlin Clark. If the roles were reversed, imagine the type of field day the media would be having right now. Let's all remember the character of Brittney Griner. This is the same woman who got caught smoking weed in Russia and was jailed. And then Joe Biden made a trade for the merchant of death and returned him back to Russia for him to continue doing the same shenanigans that he was doing before.
The controversy quickly exploded across social media, with a viral clip gaining massive attention and trending for nearly 36 hours. The incident drew reactions from well-known voices across both the sports world and the political arena, further amplifying the debate. Much of the discussion centered on the involvement of Caitlin Clark, whose rookie season with the Indiana Fever has already generated unprecedented visibility for the Women's National Basketball Association. Because Clark has become one of the most talked about new stars in the league, any controversy surrounding her tends to attract intense media coverage and public scrutiny, making the timing of the incident especially significant within the broader narrative of her breakout season and the growing spotlight on women's basketball.
There were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happened to be black females that was doing their thing on the WNBA level, and they never got this kind of shine. This girl, the Golden Goose, comes along and she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's fourth in the league in MVP voting. Fourth in the league, her rookie year.
Wow. The impact of Caitlin Clark on the Women's National Basketball Association has been nothing short of transformative. Games featuring the former Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball star are averaging around 1.178 million viewers, while matchups without her present attract roughly 394,000 viewers. This staggering 199% difference in viewership highlights just how influential Clark has become, not only as a player, but also as a major driver of the league's growing popularity, commercial success, and mainstream visibility. Her presence on the court with the Indiana Fever has significantly boosted interest in women's basketball, drawing new audiences and elevating the WNBA's overall profile.
Ratings are higher than it's ever been for the WNBA.
Yeah.
Congrats to Caitlin Clark. It's crazy how that works.
I mean, what are you going to do? Proof's in the pudding, kind
Get a girl out of Iowa.
Exactly.
Who can pull up from the state next door.
Yeah.
And light up an entire arena every year.
Throughout the season, the on-court conduct of Brittney Griner has sparked growing discussion about player discipline and league oversight within the Women's National Basketball Association. Several of her matchups with Caitlin Clark have drawn particular scrutiny, with critics pointing to moments of unusually physical play despite the fact that the two athletes compete at different positions on the court. Video breakdowns shared by analysts and fans highlight repeated hard screens, increased levels of contact, and sequences that some observers interpret as overly aggressive toward the Indiana Fever rookie. These incidents have fueled debate about whether the league should take a closer look at player conduct and ensure consistent enforcement of its rules as Clark continues to emerge as one of the sport's most visible and marketable stars.
Many times that Caitlin Clark got roughed up repeatedly by defenders throughout her rookie year last year. It was attempted bullying, trying to break her spirit, intimidate her, put her in her place, get even with her for all the attention she was getting. But this season, it appears Caitlin is more committed.
If you're enjoying this coverage, don't forget to subscribe. The most recent matchup between the Indiana Fever and Atlanta Dream was marked by repeated instances of chippy physical play, with Brittney Griner accumulating fouls at a worrying pace before eventually fouling out. Analysts have pointed out that Griner's foul rate in games against Caitlin Clark far exceeds her season average, raising questions about whether this reflects poor game management or a pattern of targeting the rookie sensation. This behavior becomes even more concerning when considered alongside the alleged verbal incident, suggesting a sustained level of hostility toward a player who has single-handedly boosted the visibility and popularity of women's professional basketball. Beyond statistics, multiple video reviews highlight excessive physicality, including elevated screens and unnecessary body contact that go beyond typical gameplay. While aggressive play is part of professional basketball, the consistency and apparent targeting in these interactions have sparked debate over whether Griner's actions cross the line into unsportsmanlike conduct. Watch some of these plays and judge for yourself.